We'll do a short recap of the conversations you might have had yesterday, and I'd love to hear if any conversations, any presentations stood out to you. I'm sure you talked a lot about LLMs and ChatGPT, and I'd love to hear it all. And then I'd want to leave you with like a little bit of design principles, talking about how to move forward, right? We know we have all these cool AI technologies, but what are some guardrails we can keep in mind while we develop AI applications and systems based on those technologies? I'm a senior research engineer at Salesforce Research, where I work with the interactive AI team, and we do both research, where we publish our work at major AI conferences, and we also build AI systems for conversational AI, for summarization, and for NLP for search. Prior to that, I was a master's student at Carnegie Mellon University, where I graduated from the Language Technologies Institute, and that's where I got most of my expertise in natural language processing. I've also worked with Uber's machine learning team, optimizing customer experience and building models to essentially make users aware of the estimated response time when they talk to agents and stuff. I also work as an AI consultant at Ethical Intelligence, where we work with startups and small companies in order to ethically prove their AI systems. So any conversations that stood out from day one, any presentations? I know it could be a lot to process, but here are some of the keywords from the talks that you might have attended yesterday. A lot of discussions on generative AI, sorry. A lot of discussions on real world and real-time models. A lot of discussions on machine learning, obviously, on search and LLMs and ChatGPT. Any talks or any presentations that stood out to you that you want to share? Sorry? The Autodesk presentation? Nice. I mean, I feel like Rework is a really interesting platform where you can have key takeaways both in like core research and how people are applying this research. I'm chairing this session today, but last year at Rework, I was attending, and it was great to just meet people and realize that people are actually developing core research methods at their companies, in their groups, and also applying them in various ways. And not just like LLMs, which is the talk of the town these days, but also like theoretical machine learning, causal inferencing, reinforcement learning, a lot of other methods that we tend to overlook, when we hear about ChatGPT on social media. But I want to talk about some of the insights that my team, when we build these interactive systems that we have received. And essentially, I want to talk about these three key AI design principles that we have identified are very important when we build AI systems. Firstly, I want to talk about reliability, which means ensuring that users find interactions with an AI system dependable, factually correct, and secure. And most times, one shot is all you get to build that rapport with a user. And that trust is very important to build, because users you would see are in general not very trusting of AI systems. So it's very important that reliability is one of your core design principles when you implement AI and build an AI system out of it. Users also feel a great need for clarification. We have all seen how ChatGPT is so good at giving you answers, but sometimes users feel like, what if I had the source to those answers? And users have this need to be able to clarify the source of the information that an AI generates for them. Of course, these design principles do not really apply to all the systems that you build, but I would like you to keep in mind when you hear some of the talks here at this stage, and ask questions pertaining to these design principles, because this is the next step forward. AI technologies are essentially just like a small tool, a small cog in the whole system, but there is so much more that makes that system successful. I also want to talk about personalization. When we look at machine learning and deep learning, I feel like it is inevitably moving towards providing users a more personalized experience. And people have a very diverse criteria of, what they find relevant to them. The same information an AI can, the same information that an AI could provide to a 5-year-old may not be as important to, let's say, a PhD student, right? So as we move towards personalization, it's important to ask questions about ethics as well. As user personas come into the picture, are we ethically and reliably developing our systems? And in my work at Salesforce Research, we have had these questions come up. We've had new areas of research emerge, like HCI NLP. When you start, I work in NLP specifically, so I'm talking about HCI from the NLP perspective, but we have realized that when people start interacting with AI systems, their expectations completely change. It's very hard to build trust, like I said, but it's also very different to evaluate AI systems, compared to traditional software engineering systems. So with these notes in mind, I would like to invite our first speaker. My bad. We have a few announcements before that. The Deep Learning Summit will run simultaneously with the Enterprise AI Summit for the morning, and both will merge in this room after lunch. I want to send a reminder that there will be a Q&A at the end of each session, and there'll be folks around with a microphone, so please feel free to engage. These sessions are only successful if you engage and ask questions to the speakers, and you can obviously have these thoughts in mind that I shared while you ask those questions. If you want to post on social media, you can tag #ReworkDL and the Twitter handle @ReworkDL. So with that, we'll get underway with our first speaker, introducing Praneeth Datta, who's a senior research engineer at DeepMind. A short bio for Praneeth. At Google DeepMind, Praneeth is a senior research engineer, and he's previously worked on AI for industrial controls in its applied group. Praneeth also serves as a part of the technical program committee for leading AI venues such as NeurIPS, ICML, and ICLR. Praneeth, welcoming you on the stage. Thank you.